Greetings, metalheads and hardcore kids. Welcome to Metal to the Core, podcast about metalcore, deathcore, hardcore, and so much more. I'm your host, Kevin to the Core. Here with me this week is not Felix. It is actually Vicious Vinny.
What it do?
I don't know where the fuck Felix is at this week. That guy keeps disappearing on me bi-weekly. It's hysterical. As we were just talking about, Vinny is like, you're okay with Vicious Vinny?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm good with it.
Yeah, so this is our second time starting, guys. I hit play, but I had left the mic on mute, which is fucking hysterical. What was it you said? The memes.
The memes are real.
Hey, but it was just the intro, thank God.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. What was it, like 10 minutes?
Yeah. What I was saying in the muted part it was funny to have you on now since you're a bigger hip-hop fan, that I should have listened to the Post Malone Ozzy Osbourne song. And then maybe talk about it with you. But then what was it that you said?
I wasn't completely a fan of it because on the Ozzy side, it didn't deliver why I like Ozzy, and it didn't deliver why I like Post Malone.
Okay.
It was just top 40 trash. So
Jesus.
It was just like, it was a song that was made to be liked on social media and people to talk about it just because the names were put together, rather than actual quality of the music.
But it was just so random because it's not even like someone relevant to the time. Like, I would have thought, because it's, fucking, exactly what you said, like top 40 trash, I would have thought it would have been someone like Metallica, like someone more relevant than Ozzy, but still old enough for like, other people, laymen's, to know who they are.
Yeah, I think Ozzy he's Ozzy, he doesn't give a fuck.
True, he had his own MTV show.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like a random combination that was just put together for our people to talk about it. And I didn't enjoy it as much as some other people have. But, whatever gets more eyes on.
Right. I never checked it out, but I'm glad I shared it tab from what you're saying. But now to actually good music. Besides what we do here on Metal to the Core podcast, besides talk shit, is we do actually talk some metal, specifically metalcore, deathcore, and everything else. This week is actually a lot of mathcore, a lot of grindcore, a lot of noisecore, specifically noisecore. Because at the end of after we do our picks here on Metal to the Core, we will be reviewing this week See You Space Cowboy, the album, the correlation between
entrance and exit.
And again, like what I said earlier to you, Vinny, was that is the most mathcore title, like album title, because it's long, kind of nonsensical, and at the same time deals with like wounds, some kind of like affliction,
somebody getting hurt.
Right, the pain is that's always like a theme in noisecore and mathcore. So yeah, so when we get into our picks, what I've dubbed them is Chugs of Choice, which is something heavy, Melee at the Moment, which is something soft or with at least clean vocals or a clean chorus. Like this week, I'll actually be cheating. And a wildcard is literally anything that we really talk beyond the scope of the podcast or within it, but in a more narrow path of sorts, like of another corner. So what we want to bring up now is, well, you guys just listened at the beginning of the show, and I'm not sure if it'll be still playing now. It's the bumper music from user submission, Russian metalcore band Exodus. Exodus fucking slaps. This song is Divine Earthquake. Vinny, what is your take on it?
Just straight banger. Just so good. Like I mentioned before, it might be because they're Russian, but they have passion behind their voices. Yeah. They just chug all the way through.
You're saying that's like you love that vocals.
Dude, their vocals are so good. You can see it in the music video. He's enjoying the whole time he's on stage.
Yeah, that really
he's screaming with his whole heart into it.
Fuck it. That really cool black and white music video of them like performing the song live. It's so dope. I love those live performance videos. There's something about them that I can never get over it. Like, I can never get enough of it. I like all the artsy-fartsy ones too, but the live ones is just, especially with metalcore and hardcore, when you really see the aggression and like the atmosphere with like the audience, you can't
carries
replicate
that energy onto another medium. It's not just the music, but you can also see it,
right?
And you see the crowd just going
right.
crazy.
And it's awesome. To me, it's such a perfect visual medium that adds to the song, of course. I think it's fucking amazing. We're gonna keep mentioning that because it was funny how we already had this conversation. But luckily, it was only the beginning when the mic was fucking on mute. that's how professional we are here in Metal to the Core. I have mentioned that I have befriended a Russian guy from that works at funny enough, at a Japanese restaurant nearby my house. And he said that there's something about like Russian metal that it must be like the living conditions or society there of just like everyone's always angry, but they always let it out in different ways instead of on each other.
It has to be the weather.
Yeah.
It just makes you tough being in cold
Bro, that shit's fucking freezing. That shit gets to below zero like on a normal day.
It snows most of the year. Just casually.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so the band Exodus, what I had also mentioned prior, that the song Divine Earthquake, wow, though exactly what you said, Vinny, a fucking banger. And I think it's amazing for what it is for metalcore. It's not progressive. It doesn't really do that too much different. It's just brutality, screaming throughout. Some cool dynamic changes throughout the song, specifically during breakdowns, which is awesome. But something that's really upsetting is that it's not available on streaming anywhere. So it's not on Spotify, it's not on Google Play, and it's not on the Apple Music. Which is
even
really
if you try
fucking
Googling the band, you get pulled over to an American thrash metal.
Yeah, you get Exodus.
Yeah.
The American thrash metal Exodus band. It's like, dude, this is not what I'm after. And then the worst part is like Google's like autocorrects it to Exodus, but doesn't know it's a band. So it will give me like Bible verses. And I'm like, what the fuck, Google? God damn it. But to me, that's such like a typical thing within Russian metalcore community, especially with my taste of liking this style of Russian metalcore, of just crazy heavy aggression, the tendencies of like the hardcore band feel and energy, where the band only has a single and it's like not available anywhere, and then you don't know anything for like fucking ever. And like that just tends to be that scene there, and like they just make a name for themselves with just like a song or two.
Well, I hope we see some sort of EP or an actual project from these guys.
Agreed.
If they keep this energy throughout, I'm totally 100% a fan for them.
Hey, if they release a fucking album, I would wholeheartedly love to review it on the podcast. That'd be great. But yeah, so thank you guys. Much love to Russia from America. That was Exo Dust. Again, the song was Divine Earthquake. You guys will hear it in the beginning of the episode and again at the end. So in case you missed some of it, you will catch more of it at the end. I want to do some quick house cleaning I thought was really, really funny. That again, once again, Felix is not here, so Vinny stepped in. So I want to again thank you, Vinny, for actually listening to some dope shit of the music pool and whatnot. But before we get into our picks of, like I said, like our Chugs of Choice, Melody at the Moment, Wild Card, before our review, what else? Before we move on to our picks, what did you end up not picking but stood out to you in the music pool of what's come out the past week or so?
Out of our music pool, I really like the new Car Bomb album.
That's cool.
It was really solid all the way through. Just chugs and just
technical chugs.
Yeah.
Mathy chugs.
They carry different energy that I haven't seen in other music directly. So it's kind of getting what do you call it? Gent?
Yeah.
Side of it, I haven't heard much of that, but I really enjoy this.
It's basically Meshuggah, Periphery, Meshuggah. You got to do the Jens Kinnaman face. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Car Bomb, especially their older stuff. I am that snobbish when it comes to them, especially gent bands. I have not liked their material in the past since their last album, so including this one. That's Mordio.
Yes, Mordio.
Yeah, Mordio. It's dope. Don't get me wrong. Songs like XOXOY is great. I think Shattered Skies is another single. It's actually a single. So specific singles and songs stick out to me, and they're really good. But the aspect I still don't like that they've incorporated since their previous album is the clean vocals. And then these really, really odd dynamic changes where, to me, the momentum of the music literally just freezes. It just feels like it just stops. And they're like, okay, now we're going to get spacey and like all of a sudden like melodic. And it sounds like indie music out of nowhere in the middle of this like techie, chuggy, gent metal.
Look at it this way. It's a palate cleanser between chugs.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it quite a lot. It's just a break from just high energy. And the build up back again from it just delivers something that I haven't got from all other music, and I really enjoy it.
Because that band's musicianship is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Even now, like I could still respect, even though they're not doing what I am enjoying or fond of anymore. I could still really appreciate their musicianship in it. So yeah, so that was, I guess, like I guess I could call it. I could kind of dub it like the podcast is like this week's dark horse. Like it's neither of our picks, but something that's like
It's an
being
honorable
talked
mention.
about. Honorable mention. I like that.
It's a great, solid album. You
Yeah.
should totally give it a listen.
Yeah. So let's get to our picks. I always like starting. Not myself. So Vinny, you have to tell me this week what was your chugs of choice for this episode.
Like I mentioned last time I was here, I really, really like Counterparts, and they released 2 songs. I believe, right?
Yeah,
It was 2
they
singles.
had a single not long ago.
The one I chose is actually
I
Separation.
think it was
of Wings.
Nightmare with Wings,
Nightmare with Wings.
something like that.
Yeah, I chose Separation of Wounds. here.
The newest.
Yeah. Just chug. Just great all around Counterpart song.
Yeah.
It delivered everything I enjoyed from them. I can't really push it any further. It was just textbook.
It's true. It's the quintessential Counterpart song with down to like the screaming vocals that Brendan Murphy always delivers, top notch in my opinion. I think their production sound wise is a little lacking. I kind of would have wanted more, especially on what's considered like their 7th or 8th fucking album. But it's still, to me, again, as a Counterparts fan and melodic hardcore fan, I think it's fucking great. I love the melody with those chugginess, like as you said, Vinny, and that breakdown towards the end where it's like slower, but it's still so fucking brutal. It's so good. And damn, what's the phrase he screams? We're 2 different types of broken. To me, that's so dope. It's so
Metal.
amazing.
It's metal.
No, it's actually not metal because Counterparts is always like made fun of or like almost memed about how like the vocal, the lyrics are like almost emo and
Edgy.
they're like, oh, I can feel like the pain and suffering, and then it cuts to like Brendan Murphy live, and I was like, all right, motherfuckers, this song is about some shit that I jerked off to once, and it's like it's just so hysterical. That like how like nonchalant Brendan Murphy just like treats this like music that it's clearly from the heart, but like live he's so like, all right, motherfucker, just like dance to this shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Just carefree.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
apparently it works because it's still goddamn awesome.
Fuck yeah, it's awesome. You should have come with us to the hardcore show where they were the headliner with Stick to Your Guns. Dude, that was so good.
I
With
forget what I
George
was talking
too.
about.
With George the Giant.
George the Giant. I wonder where he's at, huh?
For real. or as I dubbed him today, Grandpa George.
Grandpa George.
I dubbed him Grandpa George because he was supposed to be on this episode, without Felix. I needed the help of both of you guys because Felix is just that big. and Grandpa George, as I dubbed him today, he's just like, nah, I'm tired, and he didn't even listen to anything. So that's why I tell you, Vinny, I'm like, dude, thank you for listening and giving your opinion. And this is a dope pick. This is such a good pick. I cannot wait for this fucking album. The song was Separation Wounds.
Yep.
So that was your chugs of choice. Anything else before we move on?
No, you can move on.
All right. So my chugs of choice is something that I've never heard of before, and I saw the music video, and I was like, holy shit, that's fucking dope. I love it when metalcore and hardcore bands have a black singer because there's something about that they bring some like extra brutality to the vocals because they can go lower.
Aren't they loco as well? And they're from Florida?
Bloodbather?
I believe they're from Florida.
Oh my god, I actually don't know.
They might be from Florida.
So my
if they
chug of
are,
choice
they
is
require
this
a
song
shout
called
out.
End from this band called Bloodbather. I'm actually going to double check now if they really are from Florida because that'd be fucking nuts.
Check their Bandcamp.
Yeah, let's check their Bandcamp. I actually should have said it there. Thanks, Google. And Bloodbather is from
They're from
Florida. That's it. There's no
Doesn't specify where in Florida.
yeah, no
but-
city, but whatever.
Well, they are loco.
But yeah, local to us, which is awesome. Fellow Floridians. So yeah, so the song by Bloodbather, that's my chug of choice, is this song called End. And it's pure noisecore. I fucking love this shit. That breakdown is fucking sweet. That I can't say that much more because like you know what you get into when you listen to a noisecore, especially nowadays in this like what I like to dub the knock loose era, where there's like in between now between hardcore and noisecore, where there's a hardcore band playing very noisy, mathy, some techie riffs. So it's like bands are borderlining hardcore and noisecore, and I think this band, Bloodbather, is kind of
blurring the lines,
blurring that same line that a lot of other bands are now. Bands I've mentioned before on the podcast, like Year of the Knife, Sanctioned, who I've loved, Vane, that are doing some very interesting shit. Code Orange, doing their own corner of that blurry line.
They do Code Orange.
Bro, they do you. And so then this is another one to add to that roster. Bloodbather, to me, it's fucking amazing, specifically because of this vocal. The vocalist, this black singer, really rises to not only the occasion, but he lifts the band on his shoulders, to me, to like another level that I maybe would have ignored the band more so if it weren't for him. You're listening to it now, Vinny. What are your thoughts?
Dude, the shouting, it's
amazing.
It's really good. He pushes the borderline on it.
Yeah. He goes high and low. Yeah. Those screams near the end.
And forth.
Yeah.
Or the grinding of the guitar as well, just going through with it.
Oh, it's so sick. It's one of those is like, I need more. How do you only have a single? And then now that we just checked their Bandcamp, I'm glad that they do have more, but it's older material. So I will probably go back and check out that older material on their Bandcamp. So check them out again. Florida's Bloodbather. The song is End. That was my chunk of choice. So we're gonna move on to our melody at the moment. So Vinny, tell me what's your rather hot take of a melody at the moment. And I love it the way you phrase it. You're like, yo, I know it's a little weird, but can I have this as my melody? I'm like, dude, of course. You can fucking choose whatever the fuck you want.
I was asking this because it's more of an instrumental song.
Well, it is. We've mentioned, Felix and I have mentioned Andromeda or Andromeda. We really don't know how to pronounce it. On the show multiple times. We've even talked about their last album. And it's actually one guy. His album was this year, Soul Seeker. So I was like, how the fuck are you already releasing more new material? And the album was following a previous release, like a previous EP from last year. So I'm like, dude, this dude is nonstop.
You're not going to like what I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
But homie creates music for anime battle scenes.
Got there.
It's fucking awesome.
Got there. Did you say that because for listeners, I'm not a fan of anime, but I see what you mean.
It has the energy and those like dubstep stutters, just the straight guitar power.
Stutters. That's really funny.
It's goddamn awesome. It has so much energy behind it, and I wasn't sure this counts as, because when you say melody of the moment, I always think of something like mellow, like clean, simple. But this is just like pure energy. And
no, but it has its melodic moments. It has its quieter moments. That's why I really love. Right. That's why I really love about Andromeda, because he does that with all his songs. The last album, Soul Seeker, he played around a lot with violin, and I thought it was fucking amazing. So if you dig that, Vinny, you have to go back and listen to that release. But this specific song, Universal, I think it's too reminiscent of the album before, from the one from last year. Oh my god! And of course, I don't know the fucking name. That's how prepared I am for the fucking show. It's the one before Soul Seeker. Of course, fucking Andromeda, like the sci-fi show, and the galaxy. What is it? The scientific term comes up. Let's check the Bandcamp. Was it Voyager? Yes, Voyager was July of 2018 from last year. So this song sounds like it's kind of like a hot take, but it sounds like a rejected song from that album, from probably that session, because it sounds like very spacey, like how you said, like it has this like sweepy melody, but like very
it feels grand, like
right. It has this like epic in scale. Right, so that's what Voyager sounded like. Soulseeker sounded like he brought it back down a little bit, especially with that violin sound. So I wanted more of that.
This is probably past your time, but this is the kind of song that you put on like a Call of Duty montage, like back in the day.
Yeah,
or just hype music.
I get what you mean.
Buy something, it just carries.
Dude,
so well.
I was playing Call of Duty in like 08 and 07.
Oh, so you're familiar with all those?
Yeah, so like right, so people the compilations of like epic like no scope kills. Crazy like kill streaks and stuff like that. So I know that. That's how they would put like crazy instrumental bands, and hell, that's how I discovered some. None that I could think of right now. But I remember even knowing some of the songs. I'm like, wait, that's fucking Animals as Leaders. I'm like, that's hysterical. But yeah, you're right. Andromeda does have that same like energy to it. But I understand why you would choose it as your meditative moment, because the melodic parts really feed to that energy, and it boggles the mind to like a whole other plane of existence.
And the fact that you're telling me this is just one dude.
Yeah, because I've looked at because it drove me insane because I've been a fan of it for so long, and I've not known if it's a guy or like a multi instrumentalist or a multi-membered band. So I haven't known anything about that. And I think recently, it was after the Soulseeker album, which was this year, I looked it up, and it is a dude. It's just one guy. And I was like, dude, that more power to you. That's fucking amazing.
I wish I knew his name. If he can produce stuff like this consistently and just churn it out like this, again, automatic fan here. It's awesome. I'm always behind instrumental music. It's something I like to just casually throw on while I'm work, while I'm at home playing video games or doing whatever. This is just great music.
I just love the way he described it, like the dubstep stutter. That's so funny. I can't unhear it.
Unhear it because it just keeps carrying on.
Yeah, because he fucks around a lot with the synthesizers.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's simply awesome.
I like that. Simply awesome. So so that was Vinny's your melody at the moment pick. The song Universal by Andromeda or Andromeda. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's Andromida. So now for my pick for melody at the moment, I'm cheating here, as I mentioned, or actually at this point I don't know if I mentioned it with the mic muted or not, but I mentioned that I was going to be cheating with one of my picks. And it's this melody at the moment. I'm sticking with the theme of this episode with just a fuck ton of mathcore, noisecore. This is the song New Faces in the Dark by another band with a black singer, Loathe. I believe they're British. I'm not sure about that. Damn, I want to actually double check all of that as well. But Loathe is one of those bands that I've been a fan of for fucking years as well. Another one that's also they're from Liverpool. They're just like the one I mentioned before, my Chug of Choice, Bloodbather, and what I was mentioning earlier about like this blurry line between hardcore and noisecore at the moment, which is just insane and just spawning this new, I'd say, era of bands creeping up from the dark. And Loathe was one of those early ones that were at the same time or even earlier than Knock Loose and Code Orange. But Loathe really approached noisecore the way Deftones approached nu metal, where they would get really chuggy, stupid fucking heavy, but in a strange mid-pace tempo. But then when they would go melodic, it feels spacey, it feels atmospheric, and sometimes this strange like trance-like ambiance to them. And it's this weirdest mixture that no band is doing right now. And the only way to compare Loathe is the way my hot take for Loathe as a band is they're the modern day Deftones.
I can see that.
And I'm glad you do, because of course you're younger, so I was worried that like you wouldn't even know who the fuck Deftones is.
I know I'm young, but I've done my research. I've listened to a lot of music. You've sent me a lot of newer stuff that I've never even thought of looking into.
Good.
But I also bring up stuff that kind of everybody knows. There's older stuff that I can compare stuff to.
Good.
Deftones is one of those things.
Good.
So there you go.
Do you hear, like specifically in this single, the New Faces in the Dark, do you hear what I mean?
Yeah, some of like the radio filtering. from
but just the way they approach the heavier music, it's like it's not going spastic, but it's really metallic sounding. It sounds like strangely overly brutal, but still mid tempo, so it's not overbearing.
It's always building.
Yes,
it always keeps carrying itself. It just keeps the momentum going.
It zigs when you think they're gonna zag. Like you can't predict where Love is gonna go in any song, especially in this single "New Faces in the Dark." I think this song is one of their heavier ones. This came coupled with another one, Gored or Gored. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's like the word bored, but with a G instead of a B. Gored. So it's Bored. Gored,
like the fall festival,
I guess. Gored is the heavier one. It's really fucking heavy. So that's why I went with New Faces in the Dark as my melodic moment, because as heavy as it is, it's very melodic in that like chorusy and like outro vibe. And like I said, like it does that really trance-like atmospheric, again, ambiance melody that it feels like diamonds. There's something about it that's like that they're so grimy and dirty, but then all of a sudden with all this pressure, they come out with like a diamond. It's like there's something about the melodic singing, and I'm not sure if it's the same singer as the black singer that does all the screams, but dude, those vocals are fucking unearthly.
Simply awesome.
Yeah.
The singing especially really does carry a lot.
Fuck yeah. But there's really something to that instrumentation where you could tell like they have like nu metal influence, specifically Deftones, hell, even some Korn, because you can tell that there's some like really raw emotion in a lot of those screams. These kind of like almost funkier beats, like they throw in like a not jazzy, but yeah, funkier, like bass heavy, and you think it's about to like break down, and like right now the point that Vinny now listens to a song, it again, you think they're gonna zig and they zag, and it's like this crazy like space rockiness, and it's this really almost operatic part of the vocal stylings. And dude, like again, there's just no other band like Loathe out right now, and nothing that gets to the upper echelon that even touches the pedestal that Deftones is on. So that was my melody of the moment, New Faces in the Dark by Loathe. If you want something else even heavier than that, it's on that same single as the Gourd. Gourd, you said it was something about like festive things?
Yeah, gourds are like decorations used in fall. You know, like the big horns you feel like fruit and stuff?
That's hysterical.
Gourds are put into that.
That's hysterical.
It's like
I didn't know that.
It's like fall nuts.
So it's so fitting that they release these singles like just on the precipice of fall.
Maybe it's related,
right? And it's funny because Gord has no clean vocals. Gord is heavier, super fun. I think it's the heaviest Loathe song they've ever done. So check that one out if you want something heavier, but still in that blurry line between hardcore and noisecore, but with that like Loathe vibe of nu metal influence, but this like crazy cool modern take on it. So now we're gonna move on to a wild card. Vinny, I cannot wait for your hot take. What was your wild card this week?
Can't Swim, Filthy Rich.
Yeah, so this is a really strange one. Can't Swim is the name of the band.
Yeah, and they're out there because, like you put in the actual music pool, you wrote right behind the actual song, I don't know, LOL.
Yeah, because like in the parentheses of every single or album, I put like the genre or like a general, thing of like what the fuck they sound like. And for this, it's true. I put I don't know, LOL.
Here's my hot take. What it sounds like to me is like Offspring grabbed metal and punk and put it together. It has essentially hardcore. Yeah. But it has more of a punky energy. It has the punk element, the drumming, and just the sound in general. No. And the singing that reminds me of the Offspring singer. I can't remember his name.
Offspring singer. Yeah, Spencer. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. It just reminds me of that gritty feel. It fixes that niche that I have for punk music.
Right.
And I really enjoyed this single. And I was trying to look up more music of theirs, but most of their stuff doesn't really carry the same sound.
Yeah.
It kind of spaces out all over the place.
Yeah, because this is the first single for a new upcoming album release. So maybe they're changing to something completely different.
I hope to see more of them because it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's cool. So the song, like you said, "Filthy Rich," it's hard to describe it, man. It sounds like a blender of they cherry picked pop punk, almost like weird, overbearingly brutal hardcore punk, and they're like, okay, and they form like a puzzle, and then that's like, okay, that's their music,
and somehow it works. To me, at least.
To me, at first, I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's no way this is working. And after a bit, I was like, yeah, this is working for me because it's okay. So to give an actual good outline of what the song, it's this crazy choppy hardcore vocal, pop punk chorus because it's catchy and melodic, but that pop punk, it's literally undercutting strangely moderately heavy hardcore punk. But then even infused with that is this almost oh my god, why am I forgetting the name of the band? And I know them so well. It's like this funk rock stylings of oh my god, man, why the fuck am I forgetting them? The band that does the theme song for South Park.
Oh,
dude, and I know them. I'm a fan of them. I don't know why I'm blanking. South Park intro band.
I feel like we both should do this.
Primus. Why the fuck did I forget that? And I'm a fan of Primus. So imagine if Primus, which is this very avant-garde, strange funk rock band, and you've heard the South Park intro, you're a fan of South Park. So imagine that, and then that's a band, and that's all their music is this really strangely avant-garde funk rock, mixed sometimes with stylings of metal, oddly enough, but again, flourishes of it. So it feels like they're also cherry picking. So imagine if they decided to okay, we're going to do hardcore punk, but keep our strange avant-garde funk rock. That's what this Can't Swim song, Filthy Rich, sounds like.
See, now that you bring up Primus, I see that.
Yeah.
But the singing, all I can think of is Dance Fucker Dance. Just going down
especially in the chorus.
Yeah. It's just the singing put together with the same rhythm of the punk music. Brings it back to Offspring.
And the music video is bonkers.
Oh, I did not see I listened to it on Spotify.
Okay.
I should go check that out.
The music video is fucking bonkers. You would love it. Wait, so then, okay, you had another hot take about their appearance, but so how'd you see them if you didn't see the music
video? On Spotify, their profile picture.
Okay.
They'll all look like badass dudes, all bearded. 2 of them are balded, and then there's one virgin dude. He just looks like a virgin. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but everybody else looks badass, and you just don't fit in that picture, homie. I'm sorry.
I just love it, that one virgin.
He just doesn't. It doesn't look like he fits. It looks like a nerdy kid hanging out with ex-football players. There's just big tall dudes, and there's a twink on the side.
So he would be the Weezer fan.
Yeah, he looks like a Weezer member. That's what it is.
That's what I was getting at. I can't even say that anymore because now Weezer's fucking a bunch of late 30, early 40-year-olds.
And they're still cranky music.
They're all dads making dad rock.
Still cranky music like it was 1999. Boringly. Hey, they're still in top 40 and bringing in the cash.
Oh, my God.
All respect to Weezer.
Don't remind me. All right, so that was your wild card. Again, the band is Can't Swim. The song is Filthy Rich. Check that out. Fucking weird. But I dig the shit out of it. So now off to my wild card. Again, I'm cheating because I chose a fucking album. And again, sticking with this theme of the whole album, of this whole week. God damn it, of this episode of everything being noisecore, hardcore, or mathcore, because that's all that came out for me this week, and that's all I fucking cared about because I love this shit, is of course Sleep Sculptor. Sleep Sculptor. The album is Entry, dispersal.
Dispersal.
Dispersal. Then I have to give a shout out to like the podcast's like number one fan, which is Belgium's Andre Kovacki. Please write in if we're saying your last name wrong. That dude comments on everything, always likes our shit. We freaking love you, Andre. I have to send you a shirt or something once we make official podcast shirts. But he actually reminded me on the Facebook page of the podcast. Check us out there, Methodical Podcast. In Facebook pages. He reminded me of all these crazy releases. Sleep Sculptor was coming out, and I was like, holy fucking shit, I've loved those two singles that have come out. I need to check this out. And when I checked it out, I was like, no, there's no way this album is this fucking good. So I had to like re-listen to it immediately. And immediately I was like, dude, this is already in like my top albums of the fucking year. This is unapologetically pure, chaotically noisecore, but it really satisfies the people that have the palate for specifically like Sixth and early System of a Down, people that also like Maximum the Hormone, just like this pure insanity that's just unsavory.
Mayhem.
It's mayhem. Yeah. It feels like a bunch of inmates from like a prison were just let out. and the first thing that they came across was a studio. And this is the music they made because they're angry and wild, and this is what they wanted to fucking make. And it's fucking amazing. Down to and I love the first song off the album, the opening track, Incomplete, Forgot. I don't understand the point of that phrase, but just like the doodling.
I think they had a name for it.
What?
They had a name for it. It was never finished, and they forgot about it.
They forgot. That's why they're like incomplete, and then they just forgot. And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. But I love how that song is only like a minute and a half long, or a minute and 20, not even. And it starts with that like what I dub the beehive sound, and just like this like multi-layered guitar effect that is just guitar tapping. And I believe a bit of some like whammy pedal shit. I'm not a guitarist, I'm more of a drummer, so fuck me for getting that wrong. But hey, I know some of the terminology. But then immediately cuts to that like stop start. Da, 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 da. But that scream immediately like awoke something in me, and I'm like, yes, I'm already in on this whole album, and it's only like 20 seconds in or whatever. And then other songs, like of course the singles that were my favorite, like Relinquished and Artifice, stick out because you could really tell that they composed those two like with such love and care before the mayhem. Like you could tell that this is a band that breathes this style of fucking music to the point that like it must come naturally to them, man. You could tell because the production is there. One thing, the production sounds phenomenal on something that sounds this chaotic, and then the care for every note, as spastic as it sounds, as disorganized as it sounds like it's carefully placed in its spot, and it's like it's Methodical Madness. Thank you. Fucking episode title. That's amazing. Thank you, Vinny, for that. And that's the perfect explanation to this album, Entry Dispersal by Sleep Sculptor. I don't want to keep going off more of a tangent. You listen to it now and you've heard it even on the car ride here to my house. What else did you think of it, Vinny, that I have not already said?
How I looked at it, it was like chaotic neutral, just release of energy.
Yeah. You
don't know where it's going to go.
No.
It's fucking chaotic. It's loud.
I like where it does like how I said about loads, like they zig when you think they're going to zag, where like you think it's building to like another like crazy spastic breakdown, and they're like, oh, nope. And it doesn't this like weird, like mathy funk. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? And he's still screaming. This vocalist is still screaming. You're like, dude, I'm already in on you. Now I want to be in you in this fucking music because this is fucking amazing.
it carries so much energy behind it.
Yeah.
And it's yet so delicate with the guitar parts on it. There's some very technical shit going on that I personally have no training in music in general, but I can appreciate shit that sounds fucking cool, and this is it.
But since you do know of bands like, at least like, well, you don't know Sixth, but you would know like Maximum the Hormone.
Yes.
So like you said, like you're a fan of anime. They've appeared in like, I think they were the intro music for Death Note.
Yes.
So you're familiar with Maximum the Hormone. Do you see and System of a Down, of course. Fucking, I don't know why I didn't ask you for that one, because I know you're a fan of that one at least. Do you see at least like what I mean? Like, it sounds like they're almost paying homage to that of stuff that's come before, but taking it to like a whole other fucking chaotic level.
Crazy energy behind it. It's a diesel truck that does not have brakes. It just keeps going.
Oh my god, it's so good. But I'm loving your analogy. Fuck, I have to note down the episode title. Fucking Methodical
Madness.
Madness. It's so good. So yeah, so that was my wild card. That was the album by Sleep Sculptor. Entry, Dispersal. Please check it out because it is fucking amazing. And I'm already telling you, spoiler alert, by the end of the year, this will be possibly within my albums of the year list for sure. Because I can't stop listening to this.
Are you going to do a solo podcast where you go down the all Hall of Fame Kevin albums?
Oh, of all time?
No. Like this year.
Oh, this year? Yeah. But I'll probably do it with Felix. So just like, but what I would like to do, well, I actually want to see of what Felix would prefer. I would like to do like, let's say like a top 5.
Be crazy. Go crazy. Do a live stream.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
Are you up?
Imagine we do a live stream.
Do a live episode.
Dude,
imagine
we do a live stream and it's like Felix and I do like our top like 10 each. Ugh. That'd be like 4 hours.
I'm down for it.
I can't do that.
I love long format stuff. Like again, I love podcasting in general, especially stuff like Joe Rogan and HT.
Yeah, and he podcasts for 2 hours or 3.
2 to 3. Sometimes it goes to 4 if there's a big group of people.
Fucking shit.
And
I'm okay with that.
There's multiple comedians on there. There's been episodes that go 4.5 hours, and I sit through them in one sitting.
Yeah, especially you double speed.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Double speed does help.
To listeners out there, since Vinny double speeds everything, that's the way he consumes his media. I have him.
Not music. Music has to be listened.
Of course, not music. Thank God.
Yeah.
But the way you consume like stories and podcasts and stuff like that. Hell, you even watch anime in double speed sometimes.
Yeah, I honestly think most people speak too slowly, especially in recorded medium. Because when most people don't understand exactly what they're saying, I speak very quickly as it is. So when I can hear
Hispanic,
people, it's pretty much as a Hispanic just coming out of me regularly. But if I can hear and understand what you're saying in 2 speed, it doesn't make a difference to hear you in regular time.
Okay.
If I can listen to more stuff in the same amount of time
and still understand
it, it's great for me.
So it's kind of perfect that I've been getting you slowly into mathcore and noisecore because that is just like your mind in music form.
Yeah. I mean, I like noisecore from before. More lighter stuff. You've shown me a lot of heavier shit that I had no idea existed. Like stuff from Russia and shit like that. But, stuff that I would have never found without you, which is pretty dank, and I appreciate you for that. You've expanded my horizons in music quite a lot.
That's all I'm here for, man. That's why I had to bring my expansion to the masses. I like it. So now, again, continuing the trend, now we're going to end the episode reviewing a mathcore album that also borders noisecore. I would actually put CU Space Cowboy more on the noisecore end than mathcore because they don't do much of the techie stuff. They do more of the spastic, and then they combine it with this like layer of melody, and especially insane. What I've dubbed like insane layers of dynamic. I call it that, like the dynamical layers is what I've dubbed it. And Steel Space Cowboy, they've like been full steam ahead since they've got signed by I think Pure Noise Records, which is perfect. Like to me, it's such a perfect match because that's like Counterpart. I believe Counterparts is on Pure Noise. Stick to Your Guns, Sanction, Year of the Knife. A bunch of awesome hardcore, noisecore, and mathcore bands are on that. And it's fucking awesome. That's something that's that perfect in the Venn diagram. They are that gray. That's the
Mecca of heavy.
Mecca in the sense of both mathcore and noisecore. So, See You Space Cowboy, this new album, the correlation between entrance and exit wounds, I could not fucking wait for since they got signed. And I think they released a single, which when they got signed, I can't remember the name of the single. I'm pretty sure it's on this album. Was it Prolonging the Inevitable Forever? Man, I don't remember.
I can find it.
It might have just been Armed with Their Teeth, which was their first
show, and Armed with Their Teeth.
I think it was Armed with the Teeth. Put On a Show was another one, yes. So that one might have been first or Armed with the Teeth. I can't remember. But both of those singles are fucking amazing.
Yes, it's the very first song in the album. It's the opener.
Yeah. To me, Armed with Their Teeth is the perfect opener for this fucking record. Just like Incomplete Forgot on Sleep Sculptor's record, because it summarizes their brand of pure chaos, but still melodic. Like kind of like how you said that Sleep Sculptor is almost like a methodical madness. This is almost like the other way where Sleep Sculptor was like, well, fuck, what'd you say? Like chaotic neutral?
Chaotic neutral.
This was more in the other edge of not neutral. It would be, oh my God, because I'm not that into Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't know how that works. Chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil, yeah.
Yeah, I put See You Space Cowboy in chaotic evil because it's all about the griminess of life. And it's all about, like, you know, evil shit going on. Hell, something that came up to my attention this year because I started seeing them come out with more apparent music videos of like the band members, and of course I had to look up like what the hell is that going on, and the singer is a transgender woman, and I was like, oh, that was not like that before. And then I don't know if that explains anything about like the highs, but the vocalist hits these insane fucking highs that almost sounds like scratching on a chalkboard, but in the best way possible. Like, it's the best compliment you could give a noisecore band that sounds like this. I love that the way that they're writing songs now sounds like they're actual fucking songwriters, where the music feels like it's going somewhere. It's not aimless. It's to a point, but even to a point where it's like, yeah, we're still fucking, it's still maddening. Where I think it's the sound or the soundtrack to someone that's clouded with thoughts, especially negative thoughts or introverted thoughts of, because again, like even Put On a Show, I think the specific one that's very much melodic, like Late December. Late December is very, it fits on what I would dub like the era of like Poison the Well. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
It's early emo.
Okay.
You know, emo and like your age, at your age, Vinny, emo, you probably think back to like what, like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Right. So like emo core, as what people have dubbed it, was like started before that, where it was very emotional and raw, hardcore. So it was like, yeah, all over the place and a little disorganized, but in the essence, it was still hardcore. So punk in roots, but really raw, really emotional, much more singing. And again, it was really raw. So a lot of those vocalists would blow out their fucking vocal cords because they weren't either not trained vocalists or scream out their hearts because, you know,
just go hard on the paint.
Yeah, exactly. They would literally face the trauma.
To do,
right. So like bands early on, like I can't remember ones like that came out around the time of Poison the Well that were also popular. But Poison the Well sticks out because
Bring Me the Horizon be somewhere there?
No. That's way later.
Way later?
Dude, that's way later. Bring Me the Horizon is maybe only 10 to 12 years old, maybe. Okay. And even then, Bring Me the Horizon started like in the deathcore era. Okay. And when deathcore era was like blending more with like post-hardcore. So that's way after. Poison the Well is like, I'm talking like 2000.
Okay. Yeah.
2001 maybe. With like emo core, it became especially in Florida, because Poison the Well made it so apparent and so popular, being from Florida, from South Florida specifically, and it spawned a scene down here that was insane. So clearly, See You Space Cowboy in this album, the correlation, which I'm not going to say the whole fucking album every time I talk about it, but clearly they've taken parts from that era of emo core and injected more of like the not the modern, but the more older take of like mathcore. So like early Danger Escape Plan, early Botch, specifically Botch, because they weren't not that techie either, but they did all the crazy doodling that like See You Space Cowboy does. I think it was you and George the Giant that brought it to my attention that the band name See You Space Cowboy is an anime reference.
Yeah, it's I believe it is referring to Cowboy Bebop, which is something we've been harassing you to watch.
Yeah.
I know the name sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it's a show that I grew up watching, and I've probably seen all the way through like 30 times.
That's crazy.
And just because the whole show is designed around the music, I think you enjoy it a lot.
Does it sound like See You Space Cowboy?
It's more classic rock and jazz influenced rather than anything else, but it is something that is totally down your alley, especially sci-fi generalized.
I hope to get around to it. I
hope
really
you got
want to try
as well.
Yeah. Especially now that like there's a band that's referencing it, and I love the band. See You Space Cowboy, I'm also dying to see live because I've heard that they're fucking insane live, and they're going to be coming, Vinny, to the show that we want to go to together, the Knock Loose show.
Absolutely, I'm tagging along, 100%.
Dude. And with Rotting Out and I think that's the same one. With Rotting Out and Candy, dude.
Candy's fucking awesome.
Candy is amazing, and Rotting Out is, I think that's the other spectrum of noisecore where I think that's a little too much for you yet, but you eventually will get there.
I'm always open to anything.
Good.
I'm always open ears.
That is the attitude. But I've been babbling. I have not even asked you what you've thought of the album. The correlation, as I'm not going to say the whole fucking album.
I enjoyed it. I was listening to it at work today. I just
imagine you typing like a madman.
It's pretty much what it is. You see me type. My keyboard is quite fucking loud. Mechanical keyboard master race. That's all I got. But the album in general just...
Mine is mechanical too, so you hear from fucking like a mile away.
You have this crazy energy just being pumped into every second into this. Yeah. And there's, I believe, 2 interludes into this. So just like palate cleanse you because... They even know the shit's too much for your ears for a second.
Even the instrumental, perfectly dubbed, appropriately dubbed, no words, no compensation. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool name for an instrumental. And I like how they didn't approach it with their brand of noisecore. It was actually sounded kind of like progressive rock.
Yeah.
Like it was like cool. It sounds like waves of a cohesive sound, and it's like, okay, cool. There's like a cool motif in it too that repeats itself. And I'm like, dude, this is not something I would have expected on a noisecore album, nonetheless on a See You Space Cowboy album.
I think that's like their thing. You're not expecting the punches coming behind their shit.
Yeah.
They have a unique sound that I haven't been exposed to that much. But there was one song that actually made my ears hurt for a second. I think it's one of those interludes. I think it was Have You Lost the Plot? Which is just a high-pitched noise. I think it was like feedback from the guitar.
Yeah.
There's nothing else for like a minute.
After the first time I heard the whole album, I got rid of that fucking song from my library. Because I think the second time around, I got rid of it the second time. But the second time around, it scared the fuck out of me at the gym. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And I wear over-ear headphones that I have right here. Man. Dude, with these sound canceling on, all you hear is a pitch. Yeah. It just makes the inside of your ear vibrate.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, yo, that's a skip right there. Yeah. We'll get into the next song.
And it's like, I get what they were going for. It's a thing that's like super... I think it's stupid.
It's like the encore thing. It's just like,
right. And you just let it play out.
Yeah, just let it vibrate out.
And the worst part is like they let the feedback play into a song sometimes as well. But that's such like, it's such a cliche, especially in 2019 where every band and their mother and their father and grandfather has already fucking done it. Because that's something from like the 80s. Sure. And it's crazy that we're still doing that. And to me, as long as I've been a fan of hardcore and mathcore and noisecore, I was like, dude, can we stop this cliche, please? Because we need to do something else. I don't mind fades in, fades out, or like where the music stops and like the singer continues to scream. To me, that's cool.
You know what I'm
like fades out.
The sound of I can't think of a song that does it, but I've heard millions of them. When they plug in the guitar,
yeah, the
that
feedback.
sound, not the feedback, the actual noise.
Oh, yes.
When you first connect it,
okay,
that noise to begin a song just fucking crashes. Then I hear it and I automatically get excited.
Who does that a lot is like alternative rock.
Yes,
alternative rock, and then damn, who have I heard that specifically like southern rock bands? But then randomly, which is weird, Buffalo bands. There's something about the New England area of like that New York and Massachusetts area where they're like the South but cold.
The South but cold.
Yeah, it's just so random how bands from there sound like southern rock.
Trying to stay warm.
It's weird. To me, it's super weird. Like Every Time I Die. I fucking love Every Time I Die. But Every Time I Die sounds like a southern rock band, but they're from Buffalo, New York. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Their own wave.
Right? Hey, they've been at it for 20 plus fucking years, man. Still rocking out with kids and shit. Rocking out with kids and then rocking out to kids.
Shit. Very soon it'll be the kids of the kids.
Jesus. But yeah, I can't get enough of this fucking record from See You Space Cowboy. But I do get what you mean about some of the songs being palate cleansers. I do find myself after one full listen kind of like, okay, I need to step back. Because those highs off of the transgender singer is like, I don't want to say unbearable. I think the best word is like, it's a little overbearing. And mind you, this is coming from a fan of them for years. I've liked them since their like first EP. So I'm used to it, but at the same time, it's like, I can't listen to it for just more than just a set of an album.
The screeching is draining.
This right, and the screechiness of the guitar. Those cool breakdowns are amazing. I love the way they play with their slow mid-tempo breakdowns, and then the melody is amazing because again, this band really matured to another noisecore band, converged levels of songwriting, which is amazing. Thank God, because if they would have stayed in their very amateur style, they would have gone nowhere fast, and they probably would have never been signed. I wholeheartedly, that's like my hot take. That if See You Space Cowboy did not mature, they would have never been signed. But luckily, they did get signed, and they got signed to the perfect fucking record label and released literally the perfect record label backed album, which is this one, The Correlation. I can get enough of it, but in spurts because it is a little overbearing. I find myself a lot at the gym only listening to like the singles and some of my favorites. So like I'll go in and of course I'll hear like Armed with Their Teeth, Prolonging the Inevitable Forever, Put on a Show.
Escape is fucking awesome.
Which one?
A Space Marked Escape. The fourth song.
Jesus.
Space Marked quote unquote escape.
Is that one of the fucking preludes? Because I don't know why I don't have it in the damn playlist.
You might have taken it out. Yeah, but I actually enjoyed the very first of these songs.
Okay, I know what happened. A lot of them, is that weird spaciness to it.
Yeah,
and I literally get rid of it because I just want to hear the spastic stuff, or again like that really cool instrumental, the no words to no conversation. But yeah, we dug it. I'm glad you dug it. Again, Vinny, thank you for coming on to the episode. Did you want to say anything else about the album before we head out?
See You Space Cowboy. I would love to see them live with you guys. That would be
hopefully we'll go see them with Knock Loose.
And I would love to hear more for this shit because it's awesome. The screeching is with the right mood in mind and just getting in the right mindset for this kind of music just makes it 1,000 times better.
It's the perfect mood music for when you're in the mood to lose your fucking mind.
Absolutely.
So that was our review of The Correlation. I'm not saying the whole fucking album title by See You Space Cowboy. We dug it here at Metal to the Core. podcast. So like I said, again, thank you, Vinny, for coming on, for guest starring. Hopefully next week, Felix will be back. There's a fuck ton of shit coming out. I was telling you, Vinny, in the car, like Spite's coming out with a new album, Kublai Khan, new album. There's a fuck ton of awesome new singles that are about to come out, have come out that we didn't even get to. So, next week it's gonna be fucking dope, man. So check us out on Facebook. We're now on Twitter. MTTC podcast. I couldn't fit the entire name on it because there's some like regulation of only 16 characters for a Twitter handle. So we are MTTC podcast on Twitter. We have the Medical to the Core podcast Facebook page, so follow us there. We have the YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe us there. And of course, all of the episodes are available on all podcast platforms. So that's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and again, on the YouTube channel. So please follow us there. Hit like, hit subscribe, give us your feedback, tell us what you like, what you don't like. Please, Andre, we love you, but we want to hear from some other people. So we're going to head out now. Again, thank you, Vin.
Anytime you need any help, I'm always here for you, bro.
So stay metal, guys.